Salute. Uncle Stu, you're gonna like this one, brother. You're gonna like this one. Let me jump into this real quick. First of all, salute to everyone. Hopefully you guys can hear me. So I'm in the gym working out, and I overhear these two guys talking about veterans, Veterans Day. And I don't say anything or whatever, but I just hear them working out or whatever, and they was basically saying that I guess that they have a special going on where veterans kind of get a whole hour to themselves, the gym to themselves or whatever. Of course, I really didn't know or whatever case may be, but that's cool. That was a cool gesture made by that private owner. But I hear the guy, one of the guys, complaining about why veterans, why should we allow them an hour? What makes them so special? So I'm there to work out, man. I'm not there to talk about politics and religion, talk about family members. I'm there to get my workout on and then leave. But the guy was so passionately disrespectful, I had to give him some tough love. So, I'm doing my little run or whatever case may be. I run my couple miles or whatever. Today was a 6 miler. I jump off or whatever case may be. And he's just like, it was his turn, to hit the bench or whatever. So he gets off the bench or whatever, and he's just like, yeah, these veterans think they're special. He said, nobody told them to pick that job. No one told them to put their lives on the line. It's not my fault that, they left their families. So I just, I said, bro, I cannot take this no more. So I went over there to him and I asked him what his occupation was or whatever. Of course, he's an inspiring rapper. I said, okay, cool. I ain't gonna knock it. I said, how long have you been an inspiring rapper? He says, well, I've been an inspiring rapper for the last 10 years. I said, okay, all right. I said, but what do you do to make money? He kind of had this long pause, and then he said, I work odd and end jobs or whatever. And I said, okay, all right. I said, did you go to college? He was like, nah, college ain't for me, man. I said, okay. I said, why didn't you join the military? He said, I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I'm my own man. And he was going into this whole spiel, this whole macho man, Randy Savage, he was going into this whole spiel of, he was his own man. No one's going to tell him what to do. Okay. So, his friend came over, was like, hey man, don't mind my buddy, he just running his mouth or whatever. He don't make me anything by it. And I said, well, he's been very adamant that he feel like veterans are no one special, that he didn't tell veterans to leave their families or whatever. So I explained to him, I said, you didn't have to tell them to leave their families, but they chose to. And you're exactly right. They chose to do a job not a lot of Americans choose to do. They chose to miss holidays. They chose to miss birthdays, funerals, the first time their kids' first word, first steps. Some of them just having children left their children for 6 months to a year to go fight a war. And then the guy interrupted me. He's like, hey, it wasn't my war. And I said, okay, cool. When the towers fell, let me ask you something. When the Twin Towers fell in New York, was it soldiers killed or was it civilians killed? And he was a civilians, but I said, do you know how many attacks happen on American soil that you don't know about, that you don't hear about? That there's some man or woman that is defending somewhere that may result in saving your life or a family member's life, but you don't hear about it. The media doesn't broadcast it. I said, these things, just because something happened mainstream and you hear about it, doesn't mean things stop behind the scenes. And he said, hey, I get your point. I said, let me tell you something, man. There are a lot of military people that join the military based on passing down and heritage. That means their mother was a Marine, their father was a Navy man, their mom was in the Air Force, or brother was in the Army. So, you know, a lot of people go in with pride. A lot of people say, you know, I really want to do something for my country or whatever. Everybody doesn't have a disdain for America like some people. Some people know that, hey, it's not perfect, but we're working on something better. And even if I can't affect the entire world, I'm going to do something from my small town, from my suburb, from my urban community. I'm going to do something. I'm going to make a difference. And a lot of people believe in that. There's a lot of people who died so that way you could be home with your children and decide not to do nothing. Decide not to go to college. Decide not to become a business owner. Decide to be an inspiring rapper. What makes veterans so special? The fact that they're willing to do something that you're not willing to do. And what they're willing to do may be protecting you both overseas, abroad, and here on your home turf. We used to call it when the balloon goes up. Well, when the balloon goes up, they don't call you. You don't get a call in the morning. They don't say, hey, pack your stuff, be in formation at this time, get on an airplane, get on a boat, get on a helicopter, and you're going here for 6 months to a year. I think a lot of people don't realize how the military battle tests these men and women. The military helps some of these men and women who really never had any structure in their life. You know, they help them find their goals. They help them establish their goals. They help provide motivation. They help empower. They help provide encouragement, leadership, and they develop these attributes on a daily basis for both men and women. I think the biggest issue that I had with the gentleman speaking is that he didn't accomplish anything throughout the last course of 5 to 10 years. Do you know that military members do more before 6 a.m.? Let me say this: more before 9 a.m. than most do before an entire week. Why should veterans feel like they're special? Why should we treat veterans like they're special? Well, why should you treat drug dealers like they're special? Why should you treat rappers like they're special? Why should you treat criminals like they're special? It's a lot of people being in America who haven't done anything for America, anything for the community, but for some reason they're treated special. You have a guy that goes to jail for 20 years as if he went to jail for something positive, gets out, and it's like, oh my God, welcome back. Thank you. Hey, let me give you this. Bobby Smurda didn't go to jail because he was saving lives. But when he got out of jail, what happened? Hooray, yes! But you know what's so funny? What's even more disturbing is the fact that I've seen a lot of content creators. And the day is not over, so I'm still optimistic. But I've seen a lot of content creators who are known for doing reaction videos, who are known for talking about celebrities, who are known for doing certain things on social media sites, especially YouTube. And you know what I didn't see? I didn't see any of them say Happy Veterans Day. I've seen a lot of bashing of men, I've seen a lot of bashing of women, but I didn't see anything about Happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to the men and women who sacrificed the most, who had the ultimate sacrifice. I didn't see anything about it. And you know what I didn't see in the comments? I didn't see people saying, hey, why are you worried about what celebrity is dunking a basketball or getting traded, or what new movie is coming out, or what black men ain't doing, and what black women are doing? Like, why not recognize the day? It ain't like you do it every day. But here's what I saw. What I saw was those same content creators was the man inside the gym. Why should we have to recognize veterans? Why should we care? You care because it's called common decency. You care because regardless of how much you don't like America, you are still here. You know what's so funny? Everybody that I hear that talk about America and how bad it is, nobody's packing their shit up and leaving. Nobody's leaving. Nobody's getting on a plane, a boat, a motorcycle. They're not packing their shit up and leaving. I mean, we do a good job at screaming and hollering about the freedom of speech, and you know, everybody is upset that America is not this and upset that America is not that. But nobody, the people that do the most complaining about America do very little to support or help build America. The people that do the most the nonsense and talking about how these men are and how those women are, they don't do anything to support and help and build. I find that interesting. I find it very interesting. And so the loudest person in the room is the weakest person, but the person doing the most talking, 9 times out of 10, they're the person that is the most unproductive and unsuccessful. I didn't look down on this young man because he had an opinion. I felt sorry for him. Because with all of that freedom, with all the opportunity that you have to go to school, the opportunity you have to open up a business, the opportunity that you have to start a family, the opportunity you have to find yourself and empower yourself, you took that time for granted. You know how many men and women I've sat with overseas that was crying because they couldn't be there with their children to hold them at night, walk them to school, go to their recital. I mean, I've sat around soldiers, airmen. I've sat around Navy personnel, you know what I'm saying, that couldn't be home and was like, man, I would give anything to be home right now. And I see people take it for granted on a daily basis. What makes veterans so special? Well, besides from the fact that everybody that joins the military, of course, you know, they're not patriotic. Okay, they're not, you know, they don't bleed red, white, and blue. However, I'm telling you right now, there is not one person that I've met that has been in the military at any point in time that hasn't said, when I put on a uniform and I stand next to the person that I stand next to, whether it's a male or female, black, white, or otherwise, that we are not a part of a team. We are not a part of a unit, a squad, a battalion, a brigade, a division. We are soldiers. We are airmen. We are Navymen. We are sailors. There is a certain level of pride that comes across you. There's a certain level of responsibility. There's a certain level of loyalty, dignity, respect, courage that you encompass. And the thought process is, I hear a lot of people like Hassan Campbell talk about his war stories. What happens when you've been to war for real? And the people that you're going against, they are known. They are good at what they do. They're good at what they do. Matter of fact, they get national coverage. They're good at what they do. I'm not telling you that you have to find a veteran and kiss their butt. I'm telling you that there's a level of common decency. Hey, I appreciate your service if you just happen to run across one, because you never know what they've sacrificed. And I don't think that mass media tells or give a good example of what's being sacrificed. You have the opportunity to sit at home and waste your life and party all week and drink and do all of this stuff or whatever. But then when you have other people out there working, look, what about the first responders? You know, we have issues with the police. Hey, the first thing is let's defund the police. And the thought process is, not only do you not have a gun, You don't know how to use a gun. So when someone actually comes and break into your home, who are you going to actually call? Who are you going to actually call? I think that the fact of the matter is sometimes people speak out the side of their mouth, and they just either they want to join a bandwagon, they want to hype themselves up to believe that what they're doing is needed and phenomenal, and it really don't be. If you don't like America, then leave. It's just that simple. I don't think people who join the military are superheroes, but I do believe that at some point in time they've done something heroic, that they've been battle tested, that they've sacrificed, whether it was just time, whether it's their life, whether it was just, you know what I'm saying, just not being around in the mix of their family. You have some people who ain't never been away from their family, never stood on their own. Imagine having to go to Iraq. Imagine having to go to Afghanistan. Some of you guys have never left your city, your state, your town. Some of you guys are still living with your parents, still depending on your parents, still hoping that your parents will take care of you and be there and run in and save you. This is a public service announcement to all the men and women that have served in the military, regardless of what branch. I salute you. I appreciate you. I respect you. And you deserve to be respected. And it's sad that it takes one day out of all of 360, one day you get recognized for doing what it is that you do. And the best people, it's people who are, that consider themselves entitled, that consider themselves important, that consider themselves better, that have done nothing for themselves, done nothing for their communities, done nothing for America in general, and they have the most to say about people who have. I find little respect for that. We have an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to do better. And we talk about it on a regular basis. Some people yearn to see betterment. Some people really want to show that, hey, you know what, man, we could do better. We need to stop the name calling. We need to start building. We need to start. And what's crazy about it, I'm telling you right now, most of the people promoting the most division have helping people. They have no resume of being considered to be a hero at any time in their life. They do nothing for their communities. They don't build anything. And this is the thought process here is the reason why they're able to identify what other people don't do for the community is because they do nothing for the community. And they will never recognize people who do things for the community. Imagine someone saying you as a military officer or soldier or a warrant officer or, you know, airman, a Marine, a sailor, coastguard, you know, retired, reserve. Imagine someone saying you don't deserve a special day. You don't deserve acknowledgement. You don't deserve a good job or an ovation. But they deserve it. They're entitled to it. That's interesting to me. It's interestingly sad. Interestingly disgusting. Are veterans special? Are veterans heroes? Are veterans, should they be acknowledged? I believe that if you have to ask those questions, then there's some soul searching that you have to do. There's some research that you have to do. Because here's the thing, it's not even about just common sense. It's about looking at the men and women in uniform that hold themselves to a certain standard. I'm not talking about just a young soldier. You know, we have young soldiers who are, you know, they've not yet been groomed into the military. I'm talking about your older soldiers, you know, your actual veterans. They carry themselves differently. They speak with a certain tone, and they possess certain qualities. They are self-starters. They're self-motivated. They have a certain level of integrity. They are slow to anger, and when they do, even still, they're focused. I'm saying that they are a different type of breed. I believe after the conversation that I had with this young man, well, both men, but it was focused on one guy, I think that he had a better understanding. You know what's so funny is, he said he never talked to someone that was in the military before. Never been face to face with someone that was in the military before. And he said that he had a newfound respect for the military, because I could have cursed him out. I could have said, you know, who the hell you think? Like, I could have took it another way. I could have turned it up another notch. Especially after he told me his background. But my thought process is, you know, fear keeps a lot of people from joining the military. It's not just, well, I don't want people to tell me what to do. You know, I'm my own man. You know, I'm my own woman. It's fear. It's fear. It's fear. Not that the grass is greener on the other side, but look, I can't imagine what's on the other side. I'm hearing lions, tigers, and bears on the other side. At least I know what's going on right here. I'm not going to venture off to the other side. I'm not about to get on no plane. I'm not about to go fight nobody. Like, I don't even want no part of that. I ain't built like that. I'm about to meet a bunch of strangers in boot camp. I'm going to be tested. What? I'm gonna have to run. I'm gonna have to crawl. I'm gonna have to shoot. I'm gonna have to be with a bunch of people. I'm gonna have to rely on other people of other races, other genders. Wait a minute, I ain't ready for that type of commitment. I get it, it's scary. Especially if you've been in your small town with small minds in your city, where people who have not accomplished a lot. Of course you're not gonna join the military. But see, the issue is, you're not going to join the military, and you're not going to be productive in your city either. You're not going to be productive in your state either. You're not going to become a policeman. You're not going to become a doctor, or a fireman, a trashman, a teacher. You're not going to do anything that promotes betterment for others. You're just going to sit around and complain. And that's what I saw in his eyes. Fear. Uncertainty. A lack of confidence, even though he in the gym, throwing up the gym, but mentally he was weak. I'm telling you that there is a need to acknowledge veterans. Because here's the funny thing about it is, every veteran, they don't have family to come home to. Some veterans are by themselves. The military is that's the only thing that they have. So when you say, hey, listen, you see DV tags, you see somebody in uniform, hey, I appreciate your service. I appreciate your service. I'm not telling you to go buy them food. I'm not telling you to let them cut in line. I'm just saying that level of appreciation just gives you that check mark to say, somebody appreciate me going the distance, me joining other men and women in the fight. See, you know what's so crazy about social media? People do a good job at talking about the fight. They do a good job at hyping themselves up. They do a good job at telling people how hard they are and what they would do. But here's the thought process. Veterans have been battle tested. Most veterans have been battle tested. I remember I was on a combat patrol mission. I can't really get into the specifics of it, but I remember being there, with my soldiers, and I remember them saying, hey, my friends ain't gonna believe this. They ain't gonna believe where I'm at. And in the back of my mind, it's like, you know, to me, it wasn't about them believing where you were. Are they going to respect you when you return? Are they going to appreciate you being here and them not having to be here? Ladies and gentlemen, there's a very small percentage of the population that joins the military. Very small. And some people live in areas where they don't even acknowledge the military. There's no discounts. There's no major parades. There's no thank you veterans. There's no nothing. But you know what's so funny? When you go across seas and you have to face Taliban and all these other threats, right? No one says, well, we're only protecting New York. We're only protecting South Carolina. We're only protecting California. Nope, not at all. But it'll be people within California, in New York, in South Carolina. It will be those people sprinkled in there that says, oh, you ain't do it for me. You ain't protect me from shit. I didn't tell you to go over there and fight that war. I didn't tell you to leave your family. I didn't tell you to pick your job, but you didn't stop them either. You reap the benefits. So if you reap the benefits, it's only right that you say, hey, thanks for what you do. You don't tell people to join the police force, but guess what? When you need help and you call the police, they show up. But you didn't tell them to do it. When there's a fire and the fireman comes, I didn't tell you to do it. You know you needed help. You got help. But now you feel entitled. Now you feel like, well, you the man, you the woman. Hey. I didn't tell you to do it, but, you know. Humble yourself. Humble yourself. There will be a veteran that helps you before another stranger will. There will be a veteran that gives you encouragement before a stranger will. There will be a veteran in the gym that will take the time from his or her workout to walk up to you, to not disrespect you, but to educate you because of your level of ignorance. Do I believe veterans are special? Yes. Do I believe that they've been battle tested? Yes. Do I believe that there are some phenomenal men and women out there of all races, colors, and creeds that have shown that, you know what, I was not afraid to achieve and go the distance, but I had fear in my heart. But I supported the man or woman beside me, my battle buddy. People come together to do phenomenal things. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what the military is. People come together to do phenomenal things. When the last time you came together to do phenomenal things? When the last time you came together to do something where people could say, that's heroic, that's brave, that's courageous, that's loyalty, that's able to be praised, that you're setting an example for others to follow that's positive? When the last time you've been a part of that? Some people are afraid to do anything. They afraid to learn a new skill. They afraid to jump into a new relationship. They afraid to better themselves, whether it's physical, mentally, emotional, financial. They're afraid to do better. They're afraid to take the next step. But then what happens when you have people that are afraid and they say, you know what? I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to get on that plane. I'm still going to get on that boat. I'm still going to get on that helicopter. I'm still going to get in that tank. I'm still going to get in that Humvee. I'm still going to get in that LMTV. I'm still going to do it. Even though I'm scared, it's the soldier in me, the airman in me, the Marine in me, the Navy, the sailor in me. I'm still going to go ahead and do it because it's bigger than me. Some people can't get over themselves. They're tripping over themselves. The next time that you see a veteran, remember that. A daughter, salute.